I think I wanted to go into a little bit more of the religious practices, and if you don't mind, just speaking a little bit about the 99 names of Allah, and just talking a little bit about.
Well, I mean, in the Quran, there is, by the way, a piece that I wrote on the 99 names of God that should be on the website, the Dar al-Islam website. There are ayahs in the Quran that says, God has beautiful names and call on Him with those names, but it doesn't say how many.
Oh, it doesn't?
But the Quran doesn't say how many. But there is a tradition of the Prophet, peace be upon him, who said God has 99 beautiful names. So people started extracting from Quran 99 names, and if you actually go through the list, about 96 of them actually are from the Quran. And then they had to derive 3 others to make them 99. So there are, the 99 that you see now is a fairly commonly accepted 99, but there used to be more than one list, because you cannot derive all 99 of them directly from the Quran. So they extracted, if the noun was not there but something else was there, you make it into a noun. So there are, the last I actually paid attention to it, 3 that are of that type, so they're derived.
And in this little book that I have, it tells how you could say this one so many times for this problem, or is that?
These are all mystical formulations. Yeah. And they are easier to remember if you know some of the Quran. So if anyone has come in the morning prayer, but there are times when I would read a series of ayahs where a whole number of these names are there. Just in 3 ayahs, there is like 19 or 20 of them. And just put together.
Where is that?
I have to look it up. Yeah. I can tell you exactly what it is, but I cannot give you a reference off the top of my head. Huh?
Could you say it?
Well, sure. Does anyone have other questions?
Okay.
What I mean.
I just like to hear them.
Oh, well, it says. It starts out by saying, لا يستوي أصحاب النار وأصحاب الجنة أصحاب الجنة هم الفائزون. The people of paradise and the people of hell are not the same. The people of paradise have succeeded. لو أنزلنا هذا القرآن على جبل لرأيته خاشعا متصدعا من خشية الله وتلك الأمثال نضربها للناس لعلهم يتفكرون. That's another, that God presented the responsibility to the mountains and to this, and everyone refused to take it on, and the humans took it on, and God gives you parables so you would think. And then it says, هو الله الذي, now you can count them if you knew the Arabic. هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو. So now it is summary, Allah. هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار جبار المتكبر سبحان الله عما يشركون. هو الله الخالق البارئ المصور له الأسماء الحسنى يسبح له ما في السماوات والأرض وهو العزيز الحكيم. So it's 15.
I have a question about angels.
Okay.
I understand that the angels have served purposes of messengers, and I remember reading that Adam, when he was created, humans were superior to the angels, or whatever, but I'm not quite sure what what the angels are supposed to do besides deliver messages. I think that's my confusion.
Okay. There are three kinds of entities, not counting the animals and the agriculture and all these, because all of these are creations of God of different types. There are three other, I don't know what the biological term will be. There are the jinn, there are the angels, and there are the humans. The angels are metaphorically said to have been created from light. Their function is to run the world. God appoints angels to different things. So there are angels responsible for wind. There are angels responsible for clouds. There are angels responsible for the seas and so on. So there are angels responsible for running the world. So if you want to be non-religious, you could say these are the personification of the different creations of God, and God runs the world through the people or the entities He assigns to them. So that's their job. Angels, and I'll come back to the humans, angels are also assigned to humans. So every human being is assigned two angels. One metaphorically sits on your right shoulder, the other one sits on the left shoulder, and their job is to record everything you are doing. The right one records all the good stuff, the left one records all the bad stuff. I think the lefties are not going to like that, but that's what it says. And then, on the day of judgment, they will present the record. Of course, on the day of judgment, Quran also says that your own limbs, your own body is going to testify for or against you. And according to the Quran, the purpose for this is so no one can say, well, God arbitrarily decided. He in other words, he's going to prove through this process that he's not being arbitrary, that he's looking at all the evidence, but then, he can decide whatever he wants. So that's the angels. Angels also do not have willpower. I mean, what do you call it? Willpower, right?
Free will.
Huh?
Free will.
Free will. Doesn't have free will. So they cannot do anything other than whatever they have been assigned to do. They cannot learn any more than what they have been given. Okay, so you can call them innocent or evil or whatever you want, depending upon what they're doing. But the innocence or evil has to do with choice. They don't have a choice. They have to do whatever they have been told to do. And the same is true for all other forces of nature. The jinn, metaphorically, were created from fire. And they can take any physical shape or form. They're generally not visible to us. They do have free will. And therefore there are good and bad jinn among them, and some bigger scholars than others. One of the big scholars of the jinn was Satan. And actually he had been given the job, at least temporarily, maybe just for the purpose of the Adam story, to train some of the angels in the things that they didn't know. So at the time, God wanted to create a representative on earth. We say vice regent and this and that. No one understands what that means. I mean, he just wanted somebody on on the earth. And if you remember from the reading, from the very beginning, he says, I'm going to create a Khalifa on earth. Okay? So from the very beginning, he wasn't going to have someone who sits there and then he has to drop him. You know, the fall of Adam concept that you cannot prove from Quran at all. In fact, you can refute it because in very beginning, God says to the angels, Inna ja'alna fil ardi khalifa. Okay, I'm going to create a Khalifa on earth. Okay, but they are kind of temporarily there to teach them some lessons, which they don't do very well on, both Adam and Eve. And the argument, when angels are told that, and they say, you know, we worship you and we do this, why do you need this? They will create mischief in the earth. By the way, that word fasad that is used is the reason for which people can be given death sentence. You know, other than murder, the other one is fasad. What they were referring to is the jinn, because the jinn was created before, and jinn had not done too well, and they had done a lot of bad stuff. Okay, and that you know about humans. I mean, they didn't do too well. Okay, you're welcome. Okay. But you know, even some Muslims have difficulty with this. But I have not seen, and it, I can actually say it more strongly. Nowhere in the Quran does it say God created Adam, you know, as a first being or anything. Because the first being created that the Quran talks about is a person, a nafs, a soul if you wish. And then from that, two other persons are created. And then from those, many men and women are created. So Adam may be the first one, he may be somewhere in between, who knows? Yeah. But the Quran doesn't say first person and get from his rib another person. And you know, someone like me would say, let's count their ribs. Unless he created them with an extra rib to begin with. The spacing will be off though, right? I mean, if there was an extra rib and you took it out, the spacing will be off.